So here we are on the big red couch in Studio 4 of Red FM with the Kenna family. We have Louise here and Brian, the puppy raising family of, you might have noticed in the shot, a puppy who was called Teal.
Teal is her birth name, yes.
But there's been a few suggestions by Red FM listeners online, and we are soon to reveal the chosen name of said puppy, being your third puppy that you'll have raised for
Our
the Irish
third,
Guide
yes,
Dogs
yes.
for the Blind.
Our first pup was a yellow Labrador called Teddy. He's in Dublin now. Our second puppy was Zach. So Zach is still in training with the Irish Guide Dogs. A chocolate lab, a handle of fun, absolute bundle of joy. So he's certainly going to change someone's life, as do all the dogs, really, in the Irish Guide Dogs.
You said you posted a picture of this puppy all covered in mud, and you got a message from someone back who recognised the dog covered in mud.
That's correct, yeah. She was actually the puppy raiser of the brood mother. And she just mentioned that Teal was a wonderful escapologist by night time who used to always end up at the feet of her just when she thought that the rest of the litter were gone. Teal would somehow manage to always find a way, and as you can see, she just loves the connectivity.
Well, I mean, I had a retriever myself. I still miss her, but they are just wonderful dogs. They're so sensitive, they're so warm, they're so loving, they're so gentle, they're so friendly, they're so smart.
Exactly.
I presume this is why they're chosen generally.
Exactly, and they're very intelligent. You know, they are so intelligent and so loving. And you know, some people always wonder as well, and we've been asked a couple of times, because this is our third pup, and people meet us out at different places and different events, and they wonder, are we suppressing the spirit of the dog? Does the Irish Guide Dogs suppress? And I have to answer all the time, no, that the bond, and you can see it because we meet clients at the other end of the scale that receive the guide dogs. The bond between the guide dog and their owner is just phenomenal, and they need never worry. Yes, they're working dogs, but they need never worry. They're at the opposite end of the scale. You know, when the bib comes off and when their harness comes off and when they're in the house, they're just pups and pets, and they get on. And certainly in our house, when the bib comes off, we have 3 children at home.
If we've been rolling around on the floor with the dog in the office, all of the various Red FM staff, Neil Prendeville was very taken with her as well. And we're here today to reveal what her name is and to wish you guys well as well.
Thank you.
The year-long affair that is
Yes.
the bringing the dog to the point that, you know, before she leaves you, she'll have had the harness put on, she'll have made her initial steps.
She will. Yeah, it's just from ourselves. We always the bib will always stay on when she's outdoors, and you know, the bib transitions into the harness that then transitions into what the client will eventually wear at the end, the final process. So it's important that the dog gets used to wearing the bib at all times when we're out and about. When she's at home, the bib comes off, and she just free plays, and you know, she can be just a puppy.
But the role you guys are playing for the Irish Guide Dogs for the Blind is an essential one. They need families to look
They
after
do,
the dogs
they do,
for
and
the first year before they take them back to the HQ in the Model Farm Road and bring them probably on another year-long to 18-month-long
It's
journey.
an 8-month program after we hand the dog back, just to train the dog, and then a 4-month transition between the handover with the client and the Irish Guide Dogs Association.
And what is it that the dog... I mean, we see guide dogs assisting people on the streets and whatever else, but what are the things that the Irish Guide Dogs do for the blind?
They're their eyes, and they're their vision. The blind person will put their life into the hands of a guide dog. That's why the threshold for the Irish Guide Dogs is such a high threshold, and not every dog is successful. Not every dog is successful. There are some dogs that are withdrawn. You know, it's no reflection on the trainers. It's no reflection on the puppy raising family. It's
temperament of the dog or
temperament.
Allergies or anything really,
Yeah, there you go. Allergies. Excuse me.
Yeah. And then just one last question, because you know, people that would sometimes always wonder, how do we give the dog back? You know, and that's the fear. That's the fear of some puppy raising people that would say, I couldn't do it because I couldn't give the dog back. Well, I answer it simply that, you know, our dogs, people associate giving the dog back with grief and losing their dog. We don't lose our dogs.
It's a joy.
It's a joy. It's our dogs, thank God, are not dying. We're handing them over to the next stage of their life.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do very much social media, but the hashtag that they use for the dogs are future heroes, and that's exactly what they are. Do you know, we're only a cog in the process, and it's a pleasure for us to hand the dogs back, and we're always kept in the loop, as to where our dogs are, where they're going, what they're doing, and you know, last Saturday fortnight, out of the blue, we got a picture over WhatsApp of our first dog Teddy, happy out, upside down, fast asleep in his home in Dublin. You know, so we don't lose track of our dogs. It's not the end of the process. It's only the beginning.
She's getting sleepy now. I can see it. Guys.
You want to say something, Louise?
Yes, Louise. How do you find the handover? That's Dad Brian's view on it.
Well, obviously the handover is tough. There's a few tears shed, of course, from most of us. But in the end, after, let's say, around 3 months, we get to go back in and see them, and we get to see the progress they make, and then in the end we get to see them being handed over to their forever home, let's say, with the blind person, or if they move on and become an assistance dog, we get to see that as well. And we get to see the child they may go to, so it's an amazing opportunity.
What happens if the dog doesn't make it? Do you maybe get dibs on the dog, or are you committed to this kind of puppy raising process?
No, we get first dibs on the dog, let's say. So if the dog fails, they come straight to us and they're like, would you like the dog? And then if you say no, they find a home for them then as well. But it's a very strict process in getting the dogs.
What do you think you guys would do if that happened?
I think it would. I honestly think it would interfere. We're enjoying the process at the moment. I mean, this is Teal. Until she's renamed today, is our third dog. You know, we're enjoying the transition.
Well, because I was going to say that the first year with a puppy is the hardest in my experience of my Leia.
And what we find is that the last 6 or 7 weeks, their personality just begins to shine.
Really.
And we found that with Teddy, we found that with
the right time for you guys to let him go before you get too attached.
Yeah, but you can see the temperament is just they seem to hit the 12-month. It's like it really is. And you say, oh God, this is, you know, we've had the puppy years,
and I guess even for the Irish guide dogs, then that's also the time where they're able to actually tell if this dog has the temperament required to do the job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
hoping the dog can do. There were some names suggested that you liked. Let's go through them before we reveal the actual name. So Teal was the name of the dog from its breeder.
Yes, from her breeder. Yeah. Rourke, which would be the Irish name for Sight, is a beautiful name.
Rua we liked for the red.
Yeah, and the online poll, people just didn't put up the name. They put up reasons beside the name.
Now, one big candidate was the surname of the family.
Of Kenna. Yeah.
Which might be a little bit... people obviously meant that as a tribute to you guys for what you were going to do. But it might be a difficult year.
Yeah, people will be getting confused. Let's say I'll be shouting Kenna around the household and Dad will come running in, what's wrong? But no, we were saying...
presumably you call each other by your first name as opposed to
Kenna! Yeah. No, by our first names, definitely. But no, we were saying that the legacy would live on if it was Rua, or there was another amazing suggestion, and we said it would live on definitely more than Kenna would live on, we were trying to say.
Well, but that maybe you guys are being a bit overly humble perhaps about it, because I think what possibly people voted that for was that after you passed the dog on after the year, maybe they were thinking, how would we feel if we were the ones who took a dog on for a year and then gave him over, based on even the convo that you just had there, and thought maybe it's a nice tribute to the family. So before we go with the name that has been selected, we'll give you that last chance to hold on to the dog as Kenna. Well, do you know what I mean? I think people are saying that it's actually a tribute to you guys for what you'll do.
I think whatever the public voted on, you know, there was so many marvellous suggestions as well. You know, and a lot of thought. People put a lot of thought into what the dog.
So no to Kenna.
I would be privileged if Kenna came out of the envelope. I don't know what's in the envelope. I would be privileged, but Kenna is an affliction, I think. I think for a dog, Kenna, oh God, and how do you spell it? Yeah, there'd be too many.
So there's been a few factors. The public vote was a huge influence on it, and we loved the reasons that people went into and the thought that they put into it.
They put in so much thought, in fairness, and you know, and for us to follow it online, for us to see everything, it was phenomenal, and the enthusiasm that people came up with was just incredible.
But one of the most highly suggested names that we're going with today, for a whole range of reasons, for this beautiful dog formerly known as Teal, I can reveal will be known as Lucy.
Oh, wow.
That's a gorgeous name.
Wow.
Definitely, yeah.
And that was one of the names you particularly liked being suggested.
I
For what
did,
reason?
and I'm not sure. You will have to explain it now. I don't know who posted it online. The hairs are standing on the back of my neck now. But when I read, I said, Lucy, oh yeah, that's a nice name. But the person took the time to actually say that Lucy is the patron saint of vision. And I said, wow, what a tribute that, and Lucy has just a short. There's only one way of spelling it. It can't be mistaken. It won't. Nobody will be saying, oh, how does it spell? Lucy is. Oh wow, I'm thrilled anyway.
Yeah, definitely. It's a gorgeous name. Yeah, better than Kenna, I think. Anyways.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, as a thank you to the Kenna family, we're here chatting today about little Lucy, and now named, who will be, hopefully, will make it through the whole process to be a very valuable Irish guide dog for the blind. But even if not, it's just going to be an absolutely gorgeous dog. Anyway, as you can see, and already is. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your journey with little Lucy.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
I hope you'll pop into us over the course of
Oh,
the
absolutely,
year.
Of course, yeah.
absolutely.
Let us know how you're getting on. Irish Guide Dogs for the Blind and all of the various platforms. You can find out further info or visit them on some of their open days at the end of the Model Farm Road. That is the national headquarters of the Irish Guide Dogs for the Blind. Roy Keane, one of the proud patrons, and has been for many, many years, and we're delighted that Cork is the place where these wonderful, wonderful dogs are trained for the benefit of so many people. So kudos to all in the Irish Guide Dogs for the Blind who do so much work, but also to you, the Kenna family, with your third little puppy, little Lucy. When we go, one last little smile for the camera. Hang on, I'm going to get down for a kiss. Thanks so much.
Thank you.